Homelander is the strongest superhero in the world of The Boys. He is used to getting his way and will bully, torture, and kill anyone that gets in his way. He often uses the threat of death to someone's loved one in order to control them, and will often just act out violently at random times. There is no amount of physical harm that he won't cause to stay on top of his public image and to keep his control within the company Vought. He views everyone as less than him and even killed Madeline Stillwell, who was a mother/love interest to him. However, he acts different among Stand Edgar, the CEO of Vought. Edgar often gets under Homelander's skin and belittles him in ways that nobody else does. Many times, Homelander just takes it and never seems to view harming Edgar physically as a real response. Homelander calls the shots to anyone around him, but why does Edgar alone seem to hold him in check a lot of times and even intimidate him at other times? Homelander is still trying to get the upper hand with Edgar, but why is Edgar the one guy that it seems that Homelander would never consider actually just killing to get him out of the way? There are multiple reasons, and much of it has to do simply with the personality traits of the two individuals. Edgar often wields control of the public eye, and Homelander desperately craves the public attention to help feed his insecurities, and he needs Edgar for this. Edgar allows this and often covers for Homelander and keeps things tidy at Vought. But even after Edgar has been publicly shamed and is no longer the CEO of Vought, Homelander still doesn't kill him. So the power he has over Homelander goes much deeper than just Edgar's control of the public and his influence within Vought. Homelander is a person that is used to being feared, respected, or loved by those around him. He can literally hear the heartbeats and even blood pressure of everybody in the same room as him. He knows when someone is scared of him or nervous around him. Even Madeline admitted in the end of being afraid of him. Everybody falls into one of these categories except Edgar and maybe Butcher, but he is not the focus of this specific video. Edgar is willing to tell Homelander exactly what he thinks of him and not flinch one bit. He will cut straight to Homelander's heart and expose how insecure he is and how emotionally pathetic his responses to people around him are, making Homelander feel like a scared little child. Because Edgar does this, Homelander feels a need to somehow beat Edgar at his own game. Simply killing him wouldn't fill his hole inside of him. For example, he killed Madeline only after she admitted she was afraid of him. At that point, he didn't feel any need for her. She had submitted to him. Also, Homelander tried to kill Butcher right after he realized he had enlisted the help of Soldier Boy in their death battle. He called Butcher a cheater and was able to use this as some type of justification that he had won in this battle.
Deal's off.
This was a bit of a grasp at straws for sure, but it just shows that Homelander is desperate for emotional victories. Homelander needs to feel superior to those around him to keep his insecurities at bay. He needs Edgar to either respect or fear him. You can see this when he goes to gloat about taking over the company. He is expecting to have an emotional win, and then perhaps his insecurity hole would fill a bit inside of him. But instead, Edgar just insults him and calls him out on his childlike need for approval.
You are not worthy of my respect. You are not a god. You are simply bad product.
I have no doubt that he would have torn Edgar in half immediately if Edgar had shown any type of fear or respect towards Homelander, but Edgar doesn't give anything, thus making Homelander feel defeated and pathetic. He won't kill Edgar until he can beat him intellectually and earn his respect in some type of a way. Just killing him wouldn't do anything to fill his void. This just shows how empty he is on the inside. Being able to physically overpower anyone around him doesn't do anything to make him feel better about himself. This emotional damage that Homelander has definitely comes from his childhood trauma. There is one more episode left in Season 3, and it will be interesting to see how Soldier Boy being his father does affect his emotional insecurity, and how his dynamic with Edgar Stan will ultimately end in this season. But what do you think? Please give me your thoughts and have a great day.